Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what we got for the lovely Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Leos in mid-June? We're getting very close to Leo season, so I hope everyone's making birthday plans already. Well, let's shuffle it up here. What messages, energies, insights do we have for the Leo collective? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo, please. Guides and spirit team, what messages do we got here for my friends this week? Here we go. Thank you. All right, very fiery, action-oriented type of energy, and I'm used to seeing this around the fire signs, that is for sure. And I'm very familiar with fire energy because I am a fire sign, but this one is like full steam ahead. Let's get something moving here. So I do like it. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of movement. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card in depth. So if you look at the imagery here, we see this lady, we see this ship, we see the birds, various other things, and they're all moving towards a very specific place. They're all going in the same direction. All the energy is being focused full steam ahead. So for some Leos, a lot of you could be in future focus mode, like thinking about, like, hey, how am I going to handle this? What are my plans? Eyes to the horizon. Now, I always say there's nothing wrong with looking into the future. I've been seeing that a lot for the fire signs recently, that there could be certain things that you're wanting to accomplish, certain things that you're wanting to attain or even solve if you're going through any issues or problems. So I like this. It reminds me of the Chariot in a way, because it's like unstoppable, very fiery, determined energy. So just know, like, there could be situations involving your motivations, your passions, your desires could be very important in this time, what you were wanting to do and accomplish. So I think it's good. For another portion of you, there could be great energy surrounding travel, whether it's vacation, whether it's day trip, whether it's working. Like, there's really good energy around exploring, going on adventures. So I do like it. But let's just put that down for now. As I always say, that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote and it feels very fiery. But let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. I'm liking what I'm feeling so far. Shuffle it up one time for you. And yeah, last week's reading, while we get this ready to go, was called A Massive Victory. So I hope you had one. I always say victories come in all different shapes and sizes, whether it's monetary, relationships, or you just had some really good days. And I will say this, for 2 weeks in a row, the energy I've been picking up for Leo seemed very optimistic. So just know that energy could bleed over for a lot of you. There could be really great things in the air. But yeah, let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So why don't we take this how it hits for you? Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going, though. 3 cards out here for the lovely Leos in mid-June. What energies and insights we have for my friends, please? Thank you. Okay, 8 of Swords. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense, playing off this energy like, all right, gotta go, gotta do something, want to do something. Then we have this like bound up type of energy in the front. We're going to need to really look into that further. But let's just get that in place. Okay. You know how energy can be. Get that 8 of Swords there. Let's get a couple more. I don't want to speak on it too much until we see what's surrounding it, right? Okay, we do have this Emperor, shot caller, entrepreneurial type of energy. Yeah, no, this is how it's going to happen. Like, so some of you could be in boss mode. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here. Okay. Okay, Hanged Man. Okay. So some of you could really, really be in problem-solving mode in this time, or that's like really where your efforts will be rewarded. I'm already picking that up intuitively here with what I'm seeing and feeling. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, the one thing I will mention is on the extreme ends, we have these energies that are kind of planted and almost feel like they're trapped, or it's just like a slog of some kind that we'll want to look into further, because they're not really doing much. And then we have this Emperor in the center. So I do feel like, all right, I'm solving this, I'm doing this, I'm working on this. Like there's a very focused energy on fixing something. Okay, so let's go through one by one and really start to build this out, because we have a mixture of elements going too. We have air, we have fire, we have like this earthy, watery mix going on the back end. But let's start in position number one. We have the Eight of Swords. Now, I always say all cards have positive and challenge, right? And the Eight of Swords, you see this person, they're blindfolded, surrounded by the swords, and this card could mean so many different things. Some of you might just have a little bit of cabin fever. I know I already spoke about taking a trip, shaking things up, spreading those wings in one way or another. This could be a card of someone that's feeling cornered. Some of you might be going through certain situations, whether it is situations or a problem where like your hands are kind of tied, or it's just something where it's like, all right, well, what can I really do? How can I solve this? Like, because this is a trapped type of energy. Now, the good thing about the Eight of Swords is that as fast as it comes in, that's as fast as it goes out too. Like it's not stuck forever. So it could be a problem or an issue that could get solved quickly. It's like, all right, well, if you focus on it, you could solve this one really quick. Another thing connected with this is the overactive imagination or overthinking. For a portion of you, there could be someone you're linked to that has quite a bit of anxiety, stress, nerves about something. So we'll look into this further. Not the softest energy to really look at in first place, but once again, it's an energy that can resolve itself rather quickly, which is a positive thing. Now, moving to the center, we have the Emperor, which I feel like in this case, in this situation, if you're stepping into this energy, that's a very good thing. Now, the Emperor itself, elementally fire. So that's an energy you could vibe with. It actually represents the zodiac sign of Aries. Now, I always say Aries and Leo energy is very similar. Okay, so some of you could be stepping into this Emperor energy. And remember, it's not gender specific, but what are some of the archetypes we think of? This is an action-oriented energy. So when we have this stuff all here on the outside, some of you might be feeling a little bottled up, okay? Especially with the Hanged Man and the Eight of Swords surrounding this Emperor. It's like, okay, I need to do something. What should I do here? Or if that's not you, somebody else's. Remember, big boss energy, very entrepreneurial, calling the shots. So for a lot of you, your input, your action, your energy could really solve a lot of things when the Emperor energy is in the mix. Another thing I will say for a small portion of Leos out there, with the Eight of Swords and this and the Emperor, like this could be someone that's trying to really control a situation. Hopefully nobody has control issues that you're involved with, okay? Because, I mean, from what I know about Leos, you're not going to get a positive result if you're trying to control their thoughts and their actions and what they do, right? Leos are very much independent, if that makes sense. Now, I'm just going to put this Emperor back for now because I gave you the positive and the challenge of it. Now, on to the back end, we have this Hanged Man. Whereas the Emperor is all about making action, calling shots, this one's not really doing much. Now, when I see the Hanged Man, it is a retracted, pulled back type of energy. It's someone that's not really doing much. They're standing pat, they're standing firm. You might be dealing with somebody or something that is a little bit stubborn, that you might have been dealing with for quite a while. Maybe there's something you're pulling your energy back from when this card is in the mix as well. But a big thing about this is analysis. Like this card is watching, it's strategizing, it's planning, it's analyzing things. So similarities to this Eight of Swords here in the front end. So whether it's you trying to problem solve or you just saying, oh, let's hold up a second. You see where I'm saying this energy feels like it's I don't want to say like it's being trapped, but there's obstacles here. There's possible obstacles that I want to look into further. In its best sense, this Hanged Man could be someone that's self-sacrificial, someone that'll take one for the team, somebody that'll put the good of the team ahead of their own. But in its roughest sense, this Hanged Man is very stubborn energy, and it's like watching everything, like my eyes are everywhere type of energy. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for the Leos, please. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could just drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Eight of Swords time. Talk to me. What is happening here? What's all this clogged up energy that we're dealing with? Okay. Magician in reverse, control. I don't know why control is such a theme this week for a lot of you, Leo. And I will say this, for a portion of you, there could absolutely be certain problems or situations where it's really not much you could do about it, or at least at first glance, it's like, okay, well, I can't change this person's mind, or I can't make this person act a certain way. It's like I could give my opinion, but I can't force this. It's like giving me this kind of energy in a very powerful way, because I will say this, the Magician in reverse, very similar to the Emperor, where it speaks about control. Because what does the Emperor do? Not the Emperor, the Magician. Master of all the elements, tries to manifest and control their life in different ways. And when it shows up in reverse, it does speak of a lack of control, or someone that's trying to control too much. So I think control issues could really be at the top for a good chunk of you. Whether it's a situation that you can't really control, or there's somebody that's just doing too damn much. Like that could be it. And again, with the Eight of Swords and this Magician in reverse, this does feel like a problem that needs to be addressed. Okay, or that your energy, your action, your moves could really help dissolve this, if that makes sense, or it could really help solve it in one way or another. You may not think so, you may not feel it, but to me, it feels like there could be something that your input or your advice could really help solve this problem or situation. So let's keep moving forward. Maybe we'll get a bit of an answer here with this Emperor about what can be done. Maybe we'll see what shows up there on the back end, but odd how like this whole thing is about control in one way or another. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. So why is the Emperor in the mix? I mean, if this is somebody that's being too overly controlling of you, the result isn't going to be too nice. But let's see what the Emperor has to say. Once again, for some of you, there could just be a situation where it's like, all right, well, what can I do about it? Right? What can I do? So talk to me. What's up with this Emperor? Thank you. Again, and for some of you, it might not be that you don't, there's nothing you can do. Some of you might just be like, I don't really have the energy to, like, do I even want to? Like, it's giving me that with the Ace of Wands in reverse underneath this Emperor. Like, yeah, no, I know I could fix this, or I know there's more I could do, but do I even really want to? It's like giving me that kind of energy. So, I mean, take that into account with whatever situations that are, or problems that you might be dealing with right now. It's all about how someone's focusing their energy. For a good chunk of you, when this Ace of Wands shows up in reverse underneath this Emperor, like I said, it's someone who's like, I know I can, but will I? Do I want to? I mean, so again, this could be somebody else being quite stubborn, all right, with this Ace of Wands, because what's the Ace of Wands about? It's an offer, it's an opportunity, just like all the other aces, but this one deals with action, since it's fire, making moves, your vitality, how your energy feels. And when it shows up in reverse, it's like, I don't wanna. Like, I could, but I don't want to. And that might be very valid, right? I don't know what every single Leo might be going through right now or might be dealing with. Some of you might just need a rest, right? Some of you might need some recuperation. That could be a thing here in the center. It's like, all right, well, if I really wanted to, I could expend the energy and I could expend the effort, but there's something here about recharging the batteries too. So again, I did say very early on, like, yeah, whatever these things are around you, like, hopefully they're not other people's stuff and they're trying to drag you into it, but it's like, all right, whatever these problems or situations are, you could really help solve it, but a lot of you just might not really want to. Let's keep moving. I don't want to keep pounding that message home. It is what it is. So let's see what the Hanged Man has to say, and then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is that Hanged Man here for Leo? Definitely a different flavor than what I've been picking up the last couple of weeks, so do with this what you will. Remember, this could be somebody else too. Thank you. Again, this King of Wands in reverse. This is so similar. Now, I will say this. If you're having interpersonal problems, you could be both mirroring each other. Okay, so if you're having issues or problems, or there's a situation with a particular individual, you could absolutely be mirroring. I will also say, with the King of Wands in reverse underneath this Hanged Man, it could be someone that has like full knowledge and full eyes on a situation. So there could be someone that has you under the microscope, that's for sure. Or they're like keeping an eye on how you react or what you do. So just keep that in mind, that it's not like something's unseen or anything like that. Now, the King of Wands is very similar to the Emperor, and he is the ruler of the wand suit. So when he's in the upright, he's taking action, he's making moves, he's investing his energy into certain things. In reverse, it's like, I'm not lifting a finger. I don't want to. Like, I'm not gonna. Should I have to? It's like giving me this kind of energy. Okay, now I'm not telling you, Leo, that you have to be a problem solver for everyone. This could be interpersonal. This could even be work for some of you in career, where it's like, all right, I do enough. Like, I do enough. I've done enough. I don't need to do extra. Why should I? It's like giving me this kind of energy. Okay, now again, if you're dealing with somebody that's like not too agreeable right now, maybe their energy levels are just completely zapped. But again, I'm feeling like somebody is either recharging their batteries or it's like, I don't want to put the energy into it for whatever reason. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Very self-explanatory. There could be certain situations or problems you're going through that they're definitely a nuisance with like the way it's showing up here. But position number one before the shadow card, we have the Eight of Swords. And again, there's so many repeating themes throughout this reading this week. Eight of Swords with the Magician in reverse. For some of you, there might be certain situations you really didn't even have a hand in it. You didn't have, like, you didn't cause it, you didn't start it. Well, why is it my fault? Why is it my problem? Type of energy. For some of you, there might be situations that are just a little out of your hands, right? Like you feel like there's not much you can do. Moving to the center, the Emperor with the Ace of Wands is like, oh, well, I could. I know I could. I know I could fix that, or I know I could help. But do I want to put that energy out there? Do I want to do that? It's like, yeah, I know what I could do. I know what I'm capable of, but does this situation deserve my energy? I'll just leave it at that. Moving to the back end, very similar. So if that's like where you're coming from with something and someone else could be coming from a very similar mindset. And when two people are in that mindset, that's when not much is going to change. Because we have the Hanged Man with the King of Wands in reverse. Like, yeah, I'm not doing nothing either. Like, all right, you don't want to do it? I don't want to do it either. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. So, King of Wands in reverse under this Emperor could also be someone that has eyes on, that could be watching a situation, or they know what's happening. So just know there could be someone watching you one way or another. But for the most part, all these energies are mirroring each other. So do with that information what you will. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you a shadow card now. So let's see what's in the shadows for Leo. God, Spirit Team. Totally different shift of energy than what we've had the last couple of weeks. I'll tell you that. What's going on for the lovely Leos? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see just yet. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here for Leo. For mid-June, what's in the shadows? Five of Swords, huh? Now, for a portion of you, you could have had a really rough history with someone that is quite selfish, okay? And a couple of other things. This could be someone who's like true feelings underneath the surface, like they could be quite affected, angry, or upset about something. Once again, not your problem how somebody else feels. We can't control somebody else's emotions. But the Five of Swords is harsh type of energy. So when it shows up in the shadows, it's like, you know how some people say, oh, no hard feelings? There are hard feelings when this card is here. Now, for a small portion of you, maybe you've had history with individuals that are so self-centered, borderline narcissistic. That's an energy to watch out for. And this could also represent conflict. So this is a rough one to watch out for. And maybe that's part of the reason we were picking up what we were picking up. It's like, okay, is it worth it? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth the conflict? Is it worth the energy expenditure? So do with this info what you will, Leo. That's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my digital calendar is open on mastermetaphysics.com, so go ahead and check that out. And if you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this weekend's readings. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could snap your fingers and visit anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.